welcome back to the Drivers Room. We're in the Sunday League again today. This is the final round of Season 4 2020, Round 8 at Sardinia Road Track A, reverse layout, racing in the Group 3 Volkswagen Beetles today. Let's see how qualifying went. Pole position today we have Coolio. He's second in the championship at the moment on 130 points, only 10 points off the top of the table, so if he does win today on count back with the worst two results being taken away, he is in line to take the championship. See how he does from pole. In second place today we have JC. He is our championship leader on 140 points, so saying 10 points above Coolio at the moment, but does need to beat him by a few places today if he's going to take the crown of the Tier 2 Drivers Room Sunday League. See how he does from second today. Qualifying third today is Jason. He's 10th in the championship at the moment on 51 points. Has missed 2 races already, so all points scored today will count towards his championship total. See how he does from third. Fourth on the grid today is Kamaru. Has only made one appearance so far this season in Tier 2, picking up a solid podium result in round 2 I believe. But this is only second appearance, so 16th in the table at the moment on 19 points, but a good qualifying performance today. Fifth place on the grid today is Canny, 7th in the championship at the moment on 70 points, just outside the podium place his last time out. Is his best result of the season. Can he go one better today and break into the top 3? Sixth place on the grid today is Bullet. He's third in the championship at the moment with 106 points and looks to have wrapped up that third place with 1 win and 2 podiums this season, and Jules not running today is his closest competitor in fourth. Starting 6th today, we'll see how he gets on. 7th on the grid today is John William Egan. This is his first appearance in the Sunday League for this new Drivers Room driver. Qualifying right in the midfield today. We'll see how he gets on, starting in Tier 2. 8th on the grid today is Muller. He's 5th in the championship at the moment on 88 points. Race winning round 6 Muller was his best result, and it catapulted him up the table. Solid result today, should see him take 4th in the championship. 9th place on the grid today is Nightmare Racer. He's 9th in the table, 9th in the championship table as well on 57 points. Good opening round for Nightmare with a slight dip in results mid-season. He's starting to gather pace again in time for this finale. Got a lot to do starting from 9th, but we'll see how he gets on. 10th place on the grid today is Boss. He's 8th in the championship at the moment on 64 points. Consistent season as ever for Boss, picking up steady points throughout, and is in touching distance of 7th place for Canny. For Canny starting a little bit further up the field today, so it does have a bit to do. See how he gets on from 10th today. 11th place on the grid today is Jamie D. 6th in the table at the moment on 86 points. Podium for Jamie in round 3, his best result so far. So he's looking to improve on his last round haul of 8 points going into this final. So he does from 11th. 12th place on the grid today is Ricky J. 13th, joint 12th, 13th in the table at the moment on 32 points. Has only made 5 appearances so far this season, so all points scored today will count towards his season total. But yeah, sitting level on points with Munro. And starting 13th today is Munro. As I say, level on points with the man ahead of him on the grid today on 32 points, 12th place in the table. Let's see how he gets on from the back today. But that was our grid walk for Sardinia, final round, Season 4. Let's get underway. Right, so here we are then on pole with Coolio for the final round of Season 4 Drivers Room Sunday League. So we build up the revs. It's one make race in the Group 3 Beetles, and that looks like a good getaway from Coolio out in front. See what JC can do on the run down to turn 2. Should be pretty flat out around this opening corner. Look like Coolio just rubbed the wall. You see sparks flying there, and JC, might be JC rubbing the wall there, does have the inside of turn 2. Coolio just hangs it round the outside, gets a wheel on the dirt there, but keeps control, keeps the power down, and powers out into the lead of the race. So maintaining first place. It looks like Bullet, Canny and Kamaru jostling for positions a little bit further behind, with Bullet jumping up into 4th place now. Canny up to 5th, Kamaru down to 6th. each other pretty tightly through there. And we're in 7th, Nightmare in 8th. I think John William Egan's fallen down a few places at the start there. Yes, from 7th place is down to 10th now. Few drivers making up some positions early on. And that is like Canny running a little bit deep there, giving Kamaru a bit of a sniff into that corner. Doing enough to hold on to 5th place at the moment. So we've got Coolio in the lead of the race still, JC in 2nd, Jason in 3rd, and that is someone losing the back. Kamaru in the background there, just losing the back end. I think he just put a wheel on the grass there. He's falling right down the pack now. Munro coming up to take that position as well. I think Kamaru suffering a bit, and the back end's gone again, probably from the damage on the front suspension there. Terrible start there from Kamaru. A really good qualifying position. Finds himself at the back of the pack now, and that is Jason in 3rd place, having a massive moment there, fishtailing right into the barrier, picking up front end damage, front suspension damage. Got to try and weather that for a little bit now. Light damage run in the Sunday League, but we'll have a few corners to contend with that damage. A lively start to this race so far. Bullet up into 3rd place now. Really good start from Bullet, starting from 6th up into 3rd place. Jason recovering in 4th now as that damage just fading off there. Nightmare running a little bit deep into the corner. Just called out on the camera. See if Muller gets a run on him here. Muller also having a good start. Looking at 5th place now. Just can't get close enough. Nightmare just getting himself settled again, and just done enough to fend off the charging Muller. So yeah, Muller making up a few positions on the opening lap. You've got Ricky J, you've got a group of cars behind now, 7th, 8th, they're just catching that. It's Ricky J running wide. A gaggle of cars behind him making up positions there. So Jamie D up into 7th place now. Jamie D starting from 11th on the grid, so Jamie's had a good start. John William Egan recovering after his poor start, back up into 8th place now. Boss just behind these two, 9th. Munro up into 10th, but off track, and back down to 11th as Ricky J recovering as well. Back up into 10th, so Munro into 11th. Canny down in 12th, so Canny's had a moment somewhere as well. We have missed that on camera. And Kamaru recovering in 13th place at the moment, so all going off in these opening laps. And I think we've got a battle further back between John William Egan and Jamie D, moving up into 7th place there in the Mr. Blobby livery. But no, it looks like John William Egan's had a really good exit there. Took my eye off the ball a little bit there, but John William Egan back into 7th place, Jamie D back into 8th. Again, Boss just sitting, patiently waiting behind these two, ready to capitalise on any mistakes from these guys ahead. A little bit further back, we've got Ricky recovering in 10th, Canny in 11th, Munro in 12th, Kamaru in 13th. Coolio doing a really good job out in front, going purple, setting the fastest lap on his first flying lap of the race. And definitely looking to do enough. So if he does win this race, there's nothing JC can do from 2nd, and Coolio will take the championship. JC just holding on to the back of him now. Both of these guys got a bit of a gap back to Bullet in 3rd. With Jason a little bit further back before. Sorry, my headset keeps cutting out. It's a little bit off-putting. But Jason in 4th. We've got Muller up into 5th. So Muller has got the job done on Nightmare Racer somewhere. Finds himself running in the top 5 now, steadily getting on with the job. Again, 5 minutes into this race, finds himself a little bit of clean air, so he can start putting the pressure on Jason up ahead. So Jason looking to catch back up with Bullet. Having started 3rd, lost 1 place, but the positions changing all over the field. Apart from the top 2, they've maintained their positions. Both getting away cleanly so far. As we jump to Coolio now, halfway through lap 4. JC not that far behind at all. See how tyre wear plays into strategies today. Who can look after their tyres better. Yeah, Bullet doing a good job in third place at the moment. Jason in fourth. Doesn't look like Muller's making too much ground on him at the moment, but both of these drivers saying that as Muller does set his personal best of the race, really settling into his groove now. Nightmare Racer just falling a little bit behind, has set his personal best on the last lap. John William Egan up into 7th. So yeah, there's a bit of a moment there on the exit of that corner. Jamie D in 8th. Again, both of these guys seem to be pulling a little bit of a gap back to Boss behind. Not that far, but Jamie D just easing the pressure off himself a little bit there. It does look like he's picking up the toe of John William ahead now. Yeah, he's definitely in the toe. See if we can get a good run through first corner, but not close enough to make a move. It's this heavy braking zone in turn 2. Does take it very neatly though, as you see. John Williams taking the wider line. Doing enough at the moment, holding on to 7th place. So Jamie D running really close to the barrier there. Yeah, Boss starting to pick up the pace a little bit now. I think everyone's just starting to settle into the race now. And John having another moment out of that corner, struggling to get the power down a little bit. Better be careful once the rears start to go. It's going to be very easy to light up the back of this car. Jamie D putting him under a lot of pressure at the moment. A bit of wall riding from Ricky there, but Ricky is a bit quicker than the guys ahead. Just needs to stay consistent. As Canny's closing the gap up to him as well. So Kamara looks like he's made up a place to the 12th. Munro running in 13th now. Coolio started lap 6. Just starting to extend the lead a little bit of 37.9, 38, very, very close between the top two. The top 2 in this race and the top 2 in this championship. These two guys have pretty much been fighting toe to toe all season long. And I think that's John William Egan pitting on the graphic there. We'll run back and have a look at that in a second. Yeah, Bullet's still doing a good job in 3rd, and it looks like Muller is a little bit closer to Jason. Jason picking up the pace with 37.2 on that last lap, 37.5 from Muller. So yeah, Jason responding to the pace being set behind him. A bit tyre swill there, thought we may have run wide, but yeah, looking good at the moment for 4th. Nightmare Racer running in 6th. Seems to have dropped off the pace a little bit. And we've got Jamie, oh yeah, because John William Egan has pitted, so this is Jamie D in clean air now in 7th place. See if he can close up the gap to Nightmare Racer behind. Boss still just biding his time as he closed the gap up. Did seem to drop away from the fight between John and Jamie D up ahead. Has picked up the pace again now, setting his personal best on the last lap and still setting his personal best. So yeah, we're starting to come into this race now. You see Ricky J under pressure from Canny. Canny's really closed up the gap on Ricky. And, running wide again, it's not getting on with that corner at all. Flashback here earlier in the race is where he had the big moment off the track. But yeah, Canny really applying the pressure for these final top 10 positions. Back end stepping out again there for Ricky. Got a few people pitting up ahead. And John William Egan coming through on fresh rubber now. Kamaru's closing up the gap to this fight up ahead as well. So you've got Boss pitting as well. So did Ricky? Yeah, Ricky dived into the pits. This has freed up Canny, but Canny running on the older rubber. John William Egan takes the inside of turn 1. Canny just grazing the outside pool there. So yeah, John William really needed to get that job done. And he did. He's out of the fresh rubber now. So is Boss. Boss comes out just ahead of all this fighting. A really good pit stop there from Boss. try and keep John behind, but John William Egan looking very racy at the moment. And Nightmare Racer, so Muller's pitted as well. He's out on the fresh rubber now, so Muller's done enough on that stint, and he has come out ahead of Nightmare Racer, who hasn't pitted yet. So a really good opening stint there from Muller. Looks set for maybe a 2 stoppers today. We'll see how the strategies pan out again. There's quite an early stop, and I don't think he took any fuel on there, so this should be a really quick stint from Muller in 5th place at the moment. The top 4, we'll have a quick run through now. So yeah, the top 4 haven't pitted yet. Coolio's still doing a good job out in first, steady 1 minute 37ths, as JC just dropping into the 1 minute 39s now as the tyre wear kicking in. Nightmare Racer pitting from 6th place a little bit further back, and looks like Bullet is starting to close the gap up on JC a little bit. So yeah, JC losing nearly a second on that last lap. Bullet in 3rd place now, and Jason closing up as well. But the man in 5th place is the one to look out for at the moment. I don't think for the lead of the race, but is in a good position to maybe jump a couple of drivers ahead as this race goes on. We've got 3 minutes until the halfway point, where obviously I think the guys up front will be looking to push this into a 1-stopper now. We'll see what Muller can do from 5th place. Now he's in clean air. Jamie D having a good race. Well, a little bit untidy through the corner there as I say that, but he's having a good race in 6th place now. And as I say, Boss out on the fresh rubber, doing enough to stay ahead of these cars fighting behind. And Canny still carrying good pace on that worn rubber. Kamaru suffering from tyre wear a little bit more than Canny ahead. Looks like John William Egan must have had an incident somewhere, because he was right up the gearbox of Boss earlier. He's fallen back behind this group of cars. Excuse me, my voice starts to go a little bit. Like I'm getting excited, but it's a good race nonetheless. Trust me, I'm enjoying it. Just, yeah, so Kamaru doing a good job here. So most of these drivers now who haven't pitted will be looking to get as close to that 15-minute mark as possible. Nightmare Racer's got a lot to do now. Coming out in 11th, is on the fresh rubber, and we'll be looking to get some undercuts done. So yeah, I think everyone going through for another lap now. I think we're going to see a flood of pit stops again at the end of this lap. But Coolio's still carrying good pace, 37.2 last lap for Coolio. Really good tyre management as well. 37.7 from JC. So yeah, a couple of untidy laps from JC. Seen him drop back a bit. You see again, he's just starting to open the gap up a little bit to Bullet behind, and Jason has fallen right behind. I don't know if he's had an accident somewhere, but 5th place man Muller might well get the overtake done before the pit stop. But yeah, it's 14 and a half minutes now. I think most of these drivers who haven't pitted will be in at the end of this lap. I think Coolio's managed to is he stretching it for another lap? No, he does go in on this lap. So the leader to pitting, I would imagine all of these guys will do the same. So yeah, JC, Bullet peeling off into the pits, Jason in 4th, Muller right behind him now, and Jason going for another lap. So Muller really needs to get ahead now. See how they get on around this fast left-hander. See, Muller's going to have all the grip in the world. As Jason positions the car really well to defend into turn 2. Not making this easy for Muller at all, but Muller gets the job done round the outside there with the fresh rubber. It's Jason dropping down to 2nd now, but needs to keep the pace up. He has decided to go again, and these guys behind out on the fresh rubber now should be setting some quick times. So Bullet rejoins the race in 5th place. Boss up into 6th now, quietly getting on with the job today, and yeah, finds himself in 6th place at the moment. I think this is everyone the first round pit stops done and dusted now. Nightmare Racer back up to 7th place after his earlier pit stop. And Jamie D rejoins in 8th place, not that far behind Nightmare at all. Let's see if these two can start. We'll see if Jamie D can close the gap up and push for 7th place. As John William Egan in 9th. Definitely have to pit again for fuel alone. He's one of the, I think he was the earliest man to pit. See how that plays out towards the end of the race. Ricky J in 10th place now, as he starts to settle in. Good consistent times there now from Ricky J, 38.4s, and sets another personal best. So finally finding a bit of a groove and some consistency. You've got Munro pitting in the background there. So Kamara in 11th place now after that first round of pit stops, taking on a bit of fuel as he runs wide there, and Kenny's going to be all over the back of him. And a little bit further up, we'll rejoin this battle in a second. I think, yeah, we've got Jason has pitted, and yeah, so Boss is up into 5th place now. Jason should be good until the end of the race. And Nightmare up into 6th as well. And Jason, ooh, that's Jamie D having an untidy exit of that corner there. Yeah, Jason should be good until the end of the race. Just got to manage the tyres a little bit now. Nightmare will probably have to pit again, although he does look good for fuel. We'll just have quite a bit of tyre management to do, and that is Jason having a big moment there, which he didn't need, and this is going to ignite Jamie D, I think, as 7th place is up for grabs. As you see, Jason just made a mistake up ahead. And Jamie D having a really good race so far. Nightmare Racer finds himself in a good bit of clean air again. See if he can start closing up on Boss. So these two, Boss and Nightmare, changing positions, and Muller pitting for which should be his last pit stop of the race, as well as Boss peels into the pits as well. See where Nightmare feeds, where Muller feeds back into things. He's out now. He's not going to have the same momentum as Nightmare Racer comes through at full speed, but he's not close enough, and Muller does retain 4th place. And Muller in a really good position now, so he makes his final pit stop of the race. And got Bullet good few seconds up the road. And tyre wear looking okay for Bullet at the moment. So you've got 10 minutes to go, but yeah, Muller should be very, very quick for this final stint. See if Nightmare Racer can just stay in touch. As you see that tyre wear just creeping in a little bit now. Nightmare Racer in 5th place. Jamie D in 6th. Looks like Nightmare's managing to pull a bit of a gap from Jamie D as Jason starts to build pace up again and starts to put Jamie D under pressure. Good gap back to Ricky in 8th place. Kamaru up into 9th now. So pretty good recovery drive from that early incident from Kamaru, same as Kenny. Boss rejoins just outside the top 10 for his final stint of this race. John William Egan in 12th and Munro in 13th. I'm just looking at this battle now as Jason looks like he's got the job done on Jamie D there. Just flick back in time to see that. Jason moving himself back up into 6th place now. Jamie D dropping into 7th. Slightly better tyre wear on the fronts. There's still 10 minutes of this race left to go, so just under a third of the race to get done, as this is the back marker of Munro, I think. So things just getting a little bit tangled up there as Papa Smurf comes through. Jason in 6th, Jamie in 7th, just passing the back marker of Munro there. Mara in 8th, doing enough to stay ahead of Canny at the moment in 9th. There's Boss in 10th, so I don't know who's lost the position there, but Boss was running in 11th, now in the top 10. And Ricky J in 11th, so one of these guys has had a moment somewhere. Excuse me. Or maybe pit stop, I'm not sure. But anyway. Yeah, Coolio still been pretty untouchable today. Keeps it clean to the end. Looks like he will be wrapping up this championship in style, but as I say, there's still 8 minutes of this race left to go. You've got Nightmare Racer taking a pit stop a little bit further back. Just noticed on the graphic, we'll have a run through in a minute, but he would have lost some track positions there, I would have thought. So he rejoins it in 7th, just behind Jamie D. So yeah, Coolio in 1st place, and JC still not that far behind, just can't get in touching distance. Just really needs to just get that toe, put the leader under a bit of pressure, but just can't get near him today. As he just hits the wall there on the exit of that corner. Coolio doing a really good job out in 1st place. JC in 2nd, Bullet in 3rd place, Muller in 4th. So yeah, Bullet still maintaining a healthy gap back to Muller in 4th. Jason in 5th. Running well, since pulled a little bit of a gap to Jamie D in 6th place. Now he's overtaken. Nightmare Racer good to the end of the race now in 7th place on the fresh rubber and a really light car. Let's see if we start to close the gap up to Jamie D in the final stages of the race. You see him just at the end of that straight there. Kamaru in 8th, and it does look like Canny is starting to close the gap up to Kamaru. So Kamaru just under a quarter of a tank of fuel there, so I don't know if he's just starting to fuel save a little bit. 7.5 minutes left of this race. Canny really closing the gap up, and Boss not that far behind either. So these guys may well Constantine are up towards the end of the race. John William in 11th and Ricky J in 12th. And just missed that. That is Bullet in 3rd place. That looks like a really big incident there. Really sorry, mate. We're going to have a look back at that one. So just rejoining 3rd place man Bullet at the moment. So he does have 3rd place wrapped up in this championship. So this is definitely, he doesn't have much to lose here. Oh, he's just gone too wide through turn 1. Smacked the wall there, but he has recovered from that. When we did join him, he was pretty much facing the other way. And he just lights up the wheels there out of turn 2, and the car has a silly moment. Oh, so he must be kicking himself, as Muller not that far behind. So no damage for Bullet, but no physical damage anyway. And Muller right on his gearbox for the final stages of this race. And you've really got to fancy Muller for this podium now. He's just been gifted this wheel-to-wheel battle. Just over 5 minutes left to go. Yeah, Bullet must be absolutely kicking himself. As a little bit further back as well, I think Canny has got the job done on Kamaru. We'll just follow this fight for the podium for a moment, see if Bullet can recompose himself. I've raced Bullet myself quite a few times, and he's a very, very difficult guy to overtake and position the car really, really well. And see what he can do though. That tyre area is really starting to creep in. I think Muller's just got a picky spot now. Bullet has quite a long storm to weather, unless Muller can get the job done early here. Start of lap 16, pull to the left hand side of the track. So Bullett's just got to be careful here. On the outside of turn one, doesn't need another. Okay. Oh right, I think Jason's done the same thing behind. Engine damage for Jason in fourth now. Bullet, engine damage front end. That's a huge incident for Bullet there. He's completely lost his composure as Jamie D comes through up into the top 5 now. But I think Jason done the same thing again. Let's have a quick look back. So yeah, just rejoining the race again, and I don't commentator's curse, but Bullet does absolutely smash into the barrier this time around. But we'll just follow Jason, because I think he just does the exact same thing. And huge impact there. Just about avoids Bullet up in front. But yeah, Jamie D, the big winner there. Jamie's had a very good race today. Finds himself up to 5th place. But I think these three will probably be fighting towards the end. And Jason's still got that engine damage to contend with. So Jamie D may well nick 4th place for now. He does. That engine damage still just lingering for a couple more corners before he can get himself back up to speed. But Jamie D up into 4th place now. So his race turning on its head a little bit at the end. Less than 5 minutes left. Less than 5 minutes to go. And yeah, you got Muller up into 3rd place now. So, good strategy from Muller. As he has mentioned before, he's good with strategies, can pick his moments to pit, find clean air, and just go at it. But yeah, very fortunate today. As Bullet did have a very healthy gap before those 2 incidents. But we'll see what these guys can do from here. See if Jamie D can hold on to 4th place until the end of the race. Jason's kicking himself as well now. Still in the top 5. And Nightmare Racer not far behind these guys on the fresh rubber as well. Still a couple of laps to go here. So if Nightmare Racer can get amongst this fight back ahead, really do with these cars getting closer together and starting to fight. But it's a tiny bit of field spread. Jason just closing the gap up on Jamie now as I say that. Yeah, as far as the championship table is concerned, at the top looks like Coolio is done more than enough. Clean race, pole position, fastest lap as well. That 36.3 on lap 11. That won't be beaten now unless someone makes a really late pit stop with the sole intention of grabbing the fastest lap. Comes through. Start lap 18, get one more lap in after this. JC in 2nd again. He's just been in touching just outside of touching distance this entire race. He's had Coolio in his sights for most of it, but just can't get close enough. Muller CJ up into 3rd place as he comes across the line. May well get another lap in as well. Jamie D still holding on to 4th place. May well be the last lap now for these guys. Jason will do all he can to put Jamie under pressure on this final lap now. I say it will get through turn 1 cleanly that time. Bullet as well. Sorry, I had to check. Not what you want at the end of your season. So Jamie D looking like he's doing enough here. Jason's just about in the tow. Ooh, that's Jason running a little bit deep there. There's contact between the two, and as Jamie D lights his tyres up, coming back onto the... Oh, that's a huge... That's such a shame. So Jason carrying on for now in 4th place. We'll have... Let's take a quick look back at that. It's Jamie recovering in 8th place now. So we'll just jump on board with Jason now. I think he just came a little too hot into this corner. A bit too late on the brakes there. Just can't slow the car down enough in time. And I think as he's looking to give the place back, you've got Jamie D doing donuts in the background. Yeah, real shame right at the end of the race. As that is literally... Jamie D has avoided a lot of incidents today. He's come through the pack. He's just been caught out there. But Coolio come through to start the final lap of his race. JC coming through also. Enjoying 3rd place man Muller. On the home straight now to pick up 3rd place. Really good podium for Muller to round off his season. Taking 3rd. Jason in 4th now. Stewards might want to have a little word with this one, but has had an eventful race, and yeah, a couple of incidents towards the end there. He slides across the line in 4th. Nightmare Racer in 5th place, so he's made the most of all that carnage up ahead. Bullet finishing in 6th. Kenny in 7th, really close behind as well. Jamie D crossing the line in 8th place. Boss in 9th. Ricky J rounding off the top 10. John William Egan 11th, Kamaru 12th. Barely a hair between those two, and Munro in 13th. Yeah, right, very eventful end to the race. As we just follow the leader now, as it does look like he is coming home to take the DRSL Tier 2 Championship. A good season-long battle with JC. He's 2nd at the moment, and looks like he's going to finish 2nd overall. As I say, JC is top of the table at the moment, but when you take off the 2 worst results, this man takes the championship. Coolio, race win and Tier 2 champion. Congratulations, JC, bringing it home in 2nd.